Welcome back to my channel, my apprentices of mathematics. We're looking at part 2 of lesson 17. And as you can see, this is a word problem. But let's look at the directions. It says to round the divisor. Okay, let's also find out what the divisor is. Oh, look, I gave you a definition. The dividend is your whole number, and the divisor is the number of groups you are making. Okay, well, let's dissect that from the problem. Mrs. Johnson, she's a very nice lady, spent $611 buying lunch for 78 students. If all the lunches cost the same, which is this Q, about how much did she spend in each lunch? Now we got to find out how much is each lunch. All right, so let's look at what we have. We have a whole number, which is the total. That's the whole number. This is what you would call the dividend. And since we want to know how much the cost of each lunch is, we're going to use this number right here, and this is called the divisor. Okay, now we have our divisions ready to go. Let me use a different color. This is $611 divided by 78. Okay, let's go. Let's start with our rounding. So we're rounding 611. And 611 is between 600 and 700. And the midpoint is 650. And the number 611 is close to 600. So we're going to round the number to 600. So now we're going to write this. It's going to be 600 now. We rounded 611 to that number. Now we're going to round 78. And some of you guys can do this in your mind already. This is your repetition for some students that need repetition. So this number is between 70 and 80. The midpoint is 75. And the number 78 is close, very close to 80. So this number is round to 80. Okay, now, now to find the division, the answer, we can do two things. I'm going to show you two things at this moment. So let's do this. We can rewrite the problem, which is 600, which is the dividend, divided by 80. But we're going to decompose 80. 80 is going to be 10 times 8. All right, so now we're going to create a division with one of those factors. It's going to be 600 divided by the first number, 10. And we're going to close the parentheses. And whatever is outside, because we already have it here, the 8 has to divide the quotient of that division. And you know, my students already know that 600 divided by 10 makes the number 10 times smaller. So that's going to be 60. Now we have to divide it by 8. Okay? So now we'll say how many times the 8 goes into 60. So let's do this. So anyone who knows, it's a master of math fluency, knows that we have to find a number that when you multiply by 8 equals 60 or somewhere close to it. So now let's look at this. That would be 8 times 5 equals 40. 8 times 6 equals 48. And 8 times 7 will be 56. So the answer will be what? 7. Because if we say 8 times 8, that will be 64. That will be beyond our number. So now we can do this. We can say that 60 divided by 8 equals about 7. Okay, my friends? That's one way. Another way would be that you want to be a little more accurate. When you round this number, let's say when you round 600, this is another way. Let me show you. Use a different color. So let's say 600, instead of being divided by, not divided by, rounded to 600, we can round it to a number that equals a number that can be multiplied by, divided by 70 or something of that sort. So let's say we rounded to 80. So 70 was rounded to 80. Let's see. So 80, if 78 was rounded to 80, just like we did it above, then we do multiples of 80. So now, what is 80? That's one multiple. What's 80 plus 80? That's 160. And what is 80 plus 160? That will be 240. What will be 240 plus 80? That will be 320. What will be 320 plus 80? That will be 400. And 400 plus 80 will be another multiple, which will be 480. And what will be 480 plus 80 will be 560. So now we can either go to the next one and say that 560, another multiple, plus 80 will be 640. So here is where we have a choice. We can round the number to either of these numbers because the quotient is going to be an exact answer. So we can do 560. So we're going to round this number to 560. Now we're going to divide it by 80. And guess what the answer is going to be? Well, the answer is going to be how many times the 80 went into 560, which is already here. This is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now we know that 560 divided by 80 equals 7. And to check this one, we have to go backwards. How? Multiplying. You bring the 7, the equal sign turns into a multiplication, times 80. You know that 7 times 8 equals 56, times the 10, that's 560. So now we know that this is correct, and our quotient, our estimated quotient, is going to be 7. Notice that in both instances, it gave us the right answer. So the rounded estimate is, actually, let me write that better. The rounded quotient, that's better. The rounded quotient is 7. My friends, watch the video again. I'm doing this to help you, and I hope you are learning. It is my wish to you. Signing out, your coach again, Mr. Magno. You have a wonderful afternoon, or morning, or night, whatever. Just have it good.